The following story has been brought to you by StoriesToInspire.org.
So I told you we went to Chicago for Shabbat, not this past week, the week before, and I took my single kids, okay, those spoiled cutie three, and Hazato, they're not so spoiled, and then two of the middle. Anyhow, so if you know how I am, pretty busy guy, so I'm pretty running up against the clock at all times. So the flight was, I believe, 7:30 to Chicago, okay? 7:30 from New York to Chicago. So my plan was with kids, I don't usually travel with kids, I was going to leave my house, I think, 4:45, and maybe get to JFK at, let's say, 5:30. I think that would make sense. With kids, I think it made sense. So, but my sons were coming home from yeshiva. I had to wait for them to come home. They came home at 4:50. We wanted to pray Mincha and Arbi. We didn't have leaving the house till 5:25. The driver, we get into the car, and the driver is driving, and he sees the traffic is crazy. Like it says, the Waze said like an hour and 10 minutes to JFK. So now the driver decides to take matters in his own hands. I'm not going to tell you his name. He goes on the shoulder and just drives with his blinker on for like miles. So, talking about entitled, but anyhow, so he's... Somehow we get into the airport at 6:20. This is tight. We go to the kiosk to try to get like the boarding pass or whatever, and it says go to the desk. Now we go to the desk, 6:22. Now they send us to the other desk at 6:25. After a few minutes, the guy says, sir, your flight is not out of JFK, it's out of LaGuardia. It's 6:25. I got 5 kids, my wife and 5 kids with me, and my flight is 7:30, and I'm in JFK in traffic. And I'm like, I don't even know where to go. Like, I don't know what to think. I'm not, people are very logistical savvy. I'm like, not like that. So now we call the driver. He says, it's going to take me 10 minutes to come back. I can't do it. Okay, we're going to get an Uber. We're racing through JFK. We get to the Uber driver. He only supposed to put 6 people in the car, but he didn't notice because we had so many luggages and stuff like that. There was 7 in the car. And the guy says, I'm going to try to get you to LaGuardia. So he starts racing to LaGuardia. Chinese fellow, seemed unbelievably nice because he was doing everything he could. I called a travel agent. I said, by the way, we need ID for the kids. He says, no, only over 18. I said, okay, but when my son is over 18 and I only have like an expired license, is that okay? He says, not expired, like expired the passport. He says, yeah, that's okay. You'll be okay with that. He says, you know what, Rabbi, let me see if I could book you in because you're going to get to LaGuardia at about 5 to 7. The flight is 7:30. He says, let me see if I could do early check-in because, again, I have no clue how to do that. So he starts to do the early check-in. He said they normally say they only could do it more than an hour before, but it's less than an hour before. He says, oh, wow, it's working. List me the name of the kids that are coming. So I list the names. And also I say, okay, my wife, me, Ruthie, Morris, Charles. I said, one second. The paper says Rebecca. I'm actually coming with Deborah. I brought the wrong kid. I'm not making this up. The problem is this is true. Anyhow. So, I didn't bring the wrong kid. I just named the wrong kid for because you're saying English names. I didn't realize one from the other. I told you I'm busy, like sometimes too busy. So, he says, okay, but she's underage, so she doesn't need ID. Somehow he gets us the boarding passes, sends it to the phone. I get to the airport 5 to 7. We race through security. The lady gets all the ID, all the thing that she asked Deborah, okay, so how old are you? She has no idea how old she's supposed to be. Is she 11? Is she 14? She said her real age, which was 11, and they let her on the plane. So pretty much Deborah flew as Rebecca, and we called her Rebecca the entire time in Chicago. And we got on the plane in time at 7:15. We sat in our seats like melechs. And the point of why I'm telling you this story is the entire time in the car, My kids kept saying the same thing. If Hashem wants us to get there, we're getting there. And if He doesn't want us to get there, we're not getting there. Their father was nervous. But the kids had like a certain sense. And I turned to him, I said, 1 second, maybe we are doing something right. Because in a tough moment, and no one wants to be stuck, and they really genuinely felt it. And what was adorable about it, about that tight moment, is again, we had all these different luggages or whatever, carry-ons and stuff. The teamwork was incredible. Because no one was saying, this is too heavy, that's heavy. Everyone carried as many items as they could to get through that airport as fast as they could to get on that plane. So those unentitled moments, if that's a word, those moments that are lacking are really incredible. And if you'll ask my kids in a month from now or 3 months from now, one of their strongest memories, it'll probably be in that Chinese fellow's car. And while we're racing to LaGuardia in something that makes zero sense in the universe, and that somehow we got on that plane. And that is the mindset we need to create.
Enjoyed this story? Come again. Bring a friend. StoriesToInspire.org